Hi, I'm Ken Gordon. I'm the head of communications for Twitter Canada.
I'm Toronto Mike. I'm the head of everything at Toronto Mike Incorporated.
Amazing. So, Mike, today we're going to be looking at your top tweets of 2018. We're here at Twitter Canada in the Blue Room. Why don't we just jump right into it? It's been a big year for you on Twitter. So this tweet here, referencing the famous Bare Naked Ladies Yellow cassette, that's your most retweeted tweet of 2018. Well, what were you thinking when you did this tweet?
Well, first of all, I say this often on Toronto Mike the podcast. I say nostalgia is the most potent drug. Mm-hmm. Hook it to my veins.
Yes.
And with this is an ideal tweet, I think, for guys and gals our age, Canadians, who bought the yellow tape. And
probably at Sam the Record Man down on Yonge Street.
It was either Sam's or the HMV, I guess, had it at 333 Yonge Street. But what a great collective, and you'd hear the songs on 102.1, and all I was thinking was, I guess that was around the time, was there a Junos? I remember there was a
Stephen Page got back together.
So I guess Bare Naked Ladies was on the mind, and when I think of Bare Naked Ladies, I think of the yellow tape.
Absolutely, like that's right up there with sort of the Naked Baby on the Nirvana Nevermind albums of the 90s. You see that, and automatically Canadians of a certain generation.
Again, am I right that this beat the record? Did this beat the record set by Shakespeare My Butt for like biggest independent?
Yeah, it had some milestone, or it sold. I guess it was probably Gordon, not to be confused with Cam Gordon. I think broke some record for sales of. Yeah, I think this was like the best-selling indie album.
Do you know Steve Simmons tells me that Gordon was his uncle or something? Like Gordon was, I think, Stephen Page's father or something. Really? Stephen Page is Steve Simmons of the Toronto Sun's first cousin, and that he was telling me Gordon is in the. So everybody watching this, Gordon from the album Gordon is somehow related to Steve Simmons of Toronto Sun fame.
Okay, there you go. So let's speak of nostalgia. We're gonna jump in, and this is a tweet that was near and dear to my heart. We've just started calling this hashtag the bag. This is the iconic Byway bag, and then we actually have a special guest in this video.
All right, I'd like to introduce everybody to. I should have white gloves on when I handle
we need like a Phil Pritchard type person for the bag. This is the bag, the famous Byway bag.
And I don't know if you can see it, if it's translucent and you can see, but the actual receipt. Is there, if there was a light, if we had a window behind us, you could see that. But there is actually, the receipt is in the bag.
We would need forceps to take it out of there. So this bag, and that receipt was from, I believe, Scarborough Town Centre back in the day.
Which is like the other side of the world to me. But my byway was at, the one I would go to was on Annette, like just a little bit east of Jane Street. On Annette in West Toronto, there was a byway for forever. But
and interesting, this bag has been featured on CTV.
Yes.
I saw it on the Q107 website, and it looks like Byway may be coming back in 2019.
Here's hoping.
Yeah.
Again, nostalgia though. All of my popular tweets apparently in 2018 were nostalgia based.
Absolutely.
And this bag again, you gave me this bag, so you don't get it back.
No, that's yours. That's yours to keep. Excellent. The Byway bag, and this, of course, when you originally tweeted it out, it put off this wave. Other people were sharing Bargain Herald bags and Miracle Mart bags. I even made a heritage moment of all the bags from back in the day.
Woolworths, Woolco,
all the greats.
Yeah. But do you think that the fact that Byway might be coming back in 2019, can we tie that to this? Like this is the birth maybe of Byway.
I feel like this is their launch campaign.
But if we don't do this, if you don't give me this and I don't send out that tweet, do we have Byway coming back in 2019?
I mean,
and what of the Rogue Byway that's on Lakeshore near Islington? Will the Rogue Byway survive if the real Byway comes back? Maybe there'll be some legal issues.
There's so many questions, a lot of loose ends to be tied in, but good learning this year. I mean, Byway content is huge online, and people love talking about it. My favorite maybe tweet about it was, I think it was Jody's jumpsuit, who said, the shame of carrying your bathing suit in the Byway bag. I thought that was a very poignant thought of, again, Torontonians of a certain generation knew exactly that feeling.
Champion's choice.
And the Byway I used to go to was on Doncaster Avenue in Thornhill, just down the street from where Rush recorded a couple of their albums.
Amazing.
So there you go.
It all comes full circle.
And then last but not least, this is actually not a 2018 tweet, but your biggest tweet of all time in terms of likes and shares. Anybody who follows Toronto Mike probably knows what this is. The giant duck a couple of summers ago. And why you read out your tweet?
Did we learn nothing from the Trojan War? I like that that's my most successful tweet ever because it's kind of smart, right?
Yes.
Like I have to know the story of the Trojan War, like the average, like that means I have some level of like historic intelligence.
It's a little highbrow. It's a little playful. It tied into something in the news cycle. Me as a PR professional, I would definitely sign up on this tweet because it hits a few beats, and you really tapped into when this duck was in Toronto. People were saying it cost
and this
so
was
much.
Tweeted from the location. Like, is there GPS coordinates I could point to here? I don't know if I have it turned off.
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Because that tweet, I went to the waterfront, the park near Harbor.
This is like Sugar Beach?
No, it's a little west of there. Okay. They call it H2O. I can't remember the name of that park, but H2O Park or something like that. And there's a park. It's it's west of Sugar Beach. But I went there, took my photo, and I was standing beside my bike, and I had the photo of the duck, and I was going to tweet that, and I was just going to say, hey, the duck, or something.
Right,
like, the duck is here. And then that came out, like, it was just a spontaneous thing. The rest is history. Look at that. So do you have numbers for us? Let's see.
Well, let's see. Peek. As I peek over almost 15,000 hearts.
Pretend this was 2018, this tweet. It's 2017.
Sure. Well, people I'm sure are still retweeting it today.
Sometimes I do see some activity. So it was June 30th, 2017. Over 5,000 retweets, but here it is. Almost, just a hair under 15,000 likes.
That's unbelievable.
Amazing.
You clearly tapped into something with your thoughts on the giant.
And no nostalgia, unless you're nostalgic for the Trojan War.
Very much.
Really old people.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you, Mike, for coming in. This was great, and we'll do this again in 2019.
My pleasure.